So the U.S. taxpayers giving Ukraine over $100 billion in aid. But did you know that we're not just buying them weapons?
We discovered the US government's buying seeds and fertilizer for Ukrainian farmers and covering the salaries of Ukraine's first responders, all 57,000 of them. That includes the team that trains this rescue dog, named Joy, to comb through the wreckage of Russian strikes looking for survivors. And the US also funds the divers, who we saw clearing unexploded ammunition from the country's rivers to make them safe again for swimming and fishing.
Okay, so we're defunding our police but funding Ukraine's police. And seed money? Did you know your tax dollars are bailing out small businesses in Ukraine?
Russia's invasion shrank Ukraine's economy by about a third. We were surprised to find that to keep it afloat, the US government is subsidizing small businesses, like Tatiana Abramova's knitwear company.
These are Ukrainian towns.
Yeah.
That's Kiev, I recognize.
Yeah.
So we're paying Ukrainians to make cardigans. After Iraq and Afghanistan, I was convinced the United States had sworn off nation building, but we haven't. And what's the difference between nation building and money laundering? I don't know, because the Pentagon failed its last 5 audits.
The ability to pass an audit or the fact that the DOD has not passed an audit is not suggestive of waste, fraud, and abuse.
So what is
now it's a question of it's suggestive that we don't have an accurate inventory that we can pull up of what we have where.
So in my world,
yeah,
that's waste.
How is that waste?
If I give you $1 billion and you can't tell me what happened to it, that to me is wasteful.
And the Pentagon just announced they can't account for $6 billion in Ukraine. And on top of that, President Zelensky just sacked his defense minister for graft. Don't worry. The Clinton Global Initiative has announced it's in charge of Ukraine reconstruction. So this is turning into an international financial war crime layered over actual war crimes. But if you ask these questions, Ukraine's transgender CIA-sponsored disinformation czar, Sarah, will hunt you down and have his way with you.
Russia's war criminal propagandists will all be hunted down, and justice will be served as we in Ukraine are led on this mission by faith in God, liberty, and complete liberation.
And remember when Joe Biden slipped and said Americans were fighting in Ukraine? It's true. The New York Times reports Americans fighting the Russians in Ukraine are being medevaced out back to Germany for surgery. Now, it sounds like every modern American war. They're stealing our money and lying to us. Let's talk to Congressman Michael Waltz. He's a former Green Beret commander. Congressman, we're paying people to knit scarves in Ukraine. Tell me how that helps our national security.
Yeah, Jesse, it's pretty rich to hear the Democrats pound the table about defunding American police, and then we're sending billions overseas to fund their police and I guess firemen and everything else. That's news to me. Look, I've been on the record. I think it's in our interest to stop Putin cold. But here's where I'm changing my position. Biden hasn't explained this to the American people. He doesn't have a strategy. He doesn't have a plan. He's been dithering all along, and he's backed us into a stalemate. And the thing that is so ridiculous and unfair is he keeps coming again and again to the American people and saying, with inflation out of control, with our border out of control, if you don't dig deeper into your pockets, you don't support democracy. How about he put a finger in the chest of the Germans, the French, the Italians, and others, and tell the Europeans to dig into your pockets and pay up for a war that's right on your doorstep, because that's exactly what President Trump did. This would have never happened under President Trump. He would have had the Europeans paying up. And if Putin did dare to do it under Trump, he would have been in this to win it, not back us into another endless war, which is what's happening right now.
We're lurching towards another 20-year stalemate like Afghanistan. I just remember the Iraq war when you find out a toilet seat cost $10,000 By the time it comes from Iowa to Baghdad, it's $10,000. That's what's going on here. And then when Hillary shows up with her hand out and says she's going to launder money through the World Bank to save the kids, that sets alarm bells off in people's minds. And that's why we have this out-of-control inflation, because there's no respect for our money. There's absolutely no respect. It's one thing to send them weapons. You can make that argument. But if you're sending them seeds and you're paying EMTs and you're paying people to sew me a cardigan, something doesn't sit right. And this has got to stop.
Well, I've made the argument, send them the weapons. They're doing the fighting and dying. They're asking us for the beans and the bullets. But we have to have oversight of it. We have to know where it's going. We have to be able to account for it, number one. Number two, as long as it takes is not a strategy. And that's what Biden's saying right now. American people, just keep digging deeper. And trust me, send me your blank check. And if you don't support democracy. Well, that's insulting. It's ridiculous. The least he can do is lay out a plan. And then the next thing he can do is to tell Germany, which, by the way, just backed away from its commitment to live up to its 2% of its defense spending, just backed away from it.
Yeah, and Poland's not down anymore
either. You guys pay up and...
Yeah,
that's
Poland's
right.
pulling the money.
Look, this is right on their doorstep.
It's got something's got to
give.
give.
If they won't do it now, then
something's got to give.
If they won't do it now, when will they? Right? I mean, I don't know when they will.
I don't know if they ever will. But
this
smells like another massive boondoggle where everybody gets rich and the American people get hosed, and I don't like the way it looks already. Congressman, thank you so much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.